So we'll see how to get the hypervisor. So as we have already discussed, Windows Server 2022 is having three editions: Essential Edition, Standard Edition, and Data Center Edition. With Essential Edition, you can create only 25 user accounts, but you cannot have any virtualization functionality. With the Edition, okay, you will get the full functionality and you can create only two virtual machines. If your organization required only two virtual machines, then you can go with Standard Edition. With Data Center Edition, you can get Windows Server full functionality with unlimited virtual machines. So we have already installed Data Center Edition. So we can create unlimited virtual machines with Data Center Edition. So you can get the Hyper-V on Windows Server 2022 by installing the hypervisor role. So you will get one hypervisor role in Windows Server 2022. You will install that role and you will get the hypervisor. So Hyper-V may look like Type 2 hypervisor. So it looks like Type 2 hypervisor because we are installing the Hyper-V from Windows Server 2022. But it is a Type 1 hypervisor that runs directly on hardware, isolates the virtual machine. So it is the Type 1 hypervisor, even though we are installing this Hyper-V from Windows Server operating system. So after installing the Hyper-V, we will create the virtual machines. So Hyper-V is having VM generations. So Hyper-V has two types of virtual machines, generation 1 and generation 2. Let us see the difference between these two generation. Generation 1 uses BIOS and supports 32 and 64-bit operating system. So with generation 1, you can install 32-bit operating system and 64-bit operating system as well. It has IDE, SCSI controller, synthetic and legacy network adapter, COM ports, diskette drive, remote FX 3D video adapter. We will discuss about these different components in our next slide. So we will see what is this IDE, SCSI controller, synthetic and legacy network adapter and other components. So just remember this point, generation 1 uses BIOS and we can install 32 and 64-bit operating system with these components. And generation 2 uses UEFI. Okay, it uses UEFI and supports only 64-bit Windows and Linux operating system, which means it supports 64-bit operating system. It has SCSI controller only, synthetic network adapter only, no COM port, no diskette drive, and remote FX 3D video adapter. It also has secure boot and VTPM. Okay, again we will discuss about these components in our next slide. So just remember these points. Generation 1 uses BIOS and we can install 32-bit and 64-bit operating system. Generation 2 uses UEFI and supports only 64-bit operating system with the below components. Both types can have DVD drive, serial port, memory, processor, keyboard, mouse, integrated services. Okay, so let us see what is this remote FX 3D video adapter. So this component provides enhanced graphic capabilities for virtual machines. And what is this VTPM virtual trusted platform module? Provides a software-based security feature for encryption and secure storage key. So it is providing the security by encrypting and storing the secure keys. Then secure boot ensures that only trusted operating system components are loaded during the boot up. So what it will do, it will ensure only the trusted operating system is loaded during the boot up. Then BIOS. BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System. So it is a firmware that initializes hardware components during startup and provides basic system functionality. Okay, let us see what is UEFI. UEFI stands for Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. So modern firmware, it is a modern firmware interface that replaces the traditional BIOS. BIOS is the traditional firmware and it is replaced with UEFI, offering enhanced features, faster boot times. And what is this IDE? IDE, integrated device electronic controller, supports IDE based storage devices like hard drive and optical. Nowadays means the latest hard disk, they are IDE based devices. So it is supporting those IDE based devices as well. Then we have SCSI. SCSI stands for Small Computer System Interface Controller. Supports SCSI based storage devices like hard drives and tape drives. Okay, ID it is the latest one. SCSI is the older one, but it supports both ID and SCSI. Then memory, as we all know, what is memory? It is RAM. Processor, again, we all know, we have already discussed what is processor in our basic classes. It is CPU and it is the brain of your computer and it executes the instructions. Then keyboard and mouse we have already discussed. And what is this integrated services? Integrated services, software components installed on the guest operating system to improve performance, reliability, manageability in a virtualized environment. So what we do, we install the hypervisor. After installing the hypervisor, we install the operating system. This is the guest operating system. On this guest operating system, software components are installed, okay, to improve the performance, reliability, manageability of in the virtualized environment of this operating system. Then what is this synthetic network adapter? So synthetic network adapter is nothing but the virtual network adapter. So physical devices required physical network adapter, virtual devices required virtual network adapter. Those virtual network adapter are referred to as synthetic network adapter. So virtual network adapter that offers high performance networking for virtual machines. Then what is this legacy network adapter? So legacy network adapter emulates the older network adapter hardware for compatibility with legacy operating system. Then we have COM ports. COM ports, serial communication ports used for connecting devices like modem and serial printers. Then we have diskette drive, floppy disk drive used for reading and writing the data from floppy disk. Okay, even you can get the diskette drive. DVD drive, optical drive used for reading and writing the data on DVD. So these are the different components we can get. Even we are getting the legacy components here. Then which one to select? As we have discussed, Hyper-V is having two types of virtual machine. There are two generation of virtual machine, generation 1 and generation 2. Which ones to select? So generation 1, as we have discussed, it uses the BIOS and supports 32 and 64-bit operating system. It is slower and less secure than generation 2. So imagine in your environment you are having 32-bit operating system and 64-bit operating system. Then in this case, you will go with generation 1. Let us say you are having only 64-bit operating system in your environment, then ignore this generation 1. You should use generation 2 only because it is the latest one. It uses UEFI supports 64-bit operating system. It is faster and it is secured than generation 1.